back to my channel. It's Shalyn, and today I'm going to do a video on things to keep in mind when you are looking for a new horse or your first horse or just looking for a horse in general. I actually wrote everything down because the last time that I tried doing these sit down videos without writing anything down, I kind of sat there for like 6 minutes not knowing what to say and my mind went blank. But anyway, before we get started, guys, go to the right or the description and click on this video. It's got some important, exciting news that you guys need to know. You don't want to miss it. It'll only take you like a minute, 30 seconds of the video. Just go watch it. It's important. Okay, let us get started then. Before you start looking for a horse for yourself, you have to decide if you're actually even ready to own a horse. Do you have the knowledge that it takes to feed a horse? Do you know what's required when feeding a horse? Like how much they're supposed to eat, how to saddle your own horse, how to brush and groom your own horse. This is all stuff that is very important and you should know before owning a horse. The correct schedule for getting your horse's feet done or just anything like that. Do you have the knowledge that is required to own a horse? When it's somebody else's horse, or when you're riding your trainer's horse or whatever, that's one thing, but owning your own horse, that's a totally different ball game. And if you have a trainer that can help you with that stuff, that's awesome. You just have to decide if you actually are ready for a horse. Do you know what is required to actually own a horse? You also want to think of what type of rider you are. So this is one thing that people don't really think about, I feel like. You think of yourself as a person. Are you more of a high-strung person or kind of a laid-back person? As a general rule, if you're more of a laid-back person, you are more likely going to be better suited for a more upbeat horse, a more high-strung horse. I don't know if you can say high-strung, but a horse that isn't very lazy. Because if you're laid back with a lazy horse, not all the time, but if you're kind of laid back and you have a lazy horse, then you guys kind of just are just do-do-do. You aren't going to get very, it's just, if you have this a more upbeat horse, then that's honestly going to be, not always, but that's kind of what's going to be better suited for you. I'm not saying go get yourself a crazy horse, but a horse that is in a breed that is maybe more high-strung and not lazy. But the opposite, if you're more of a high-strung person, you probably want to find more of a lazy horse. This is kind of how I am. I kind of have this, I don't know, when I'm out doing stuff, I kind of do have this go, go, go. And when I'm riding horses, when I am riding high-strung horses, even though that's what I always am stuck with, I honestly don't enjoy it as much. And I almost am too much for that horse, if you get what I'm saying. So I want to give more leg, I want to give more whatever than what the horse actually needs. So I'm too much for that horse. So I am better suited for a lazier horse. Does that mean I can't ride high-strung horses? That's all I own. But by my experience, I even enjoy horses that are more laid back. So just, what kind of rider are you? Think of what would be better suited for your needs that way. Do you enjoy horses who are more laid back, or do you enjoy riding horses who are more kind of upbeat? I like horses that are more laid back. You have to think about what discipline you're wanting to do. You need to buy a horse that is able to be athletic enough, or not, just more athletic enough to do the discipline that you're wanting them to do. For example, if you're wanting to jump or something, I'm not saying gaited horses can't jump, but if you're wanting to show jumping, you're probably gonna want to avoid gaited horses. I've jumped and rode and owned 3 gaited horses. I've rode more than that, and I've jumped them, and they aren't nearly as enjoyable or easy to jump as horses that are more athletic. That's just how it is, and you can argue that. I don't care. I've been there, so I know that when I'm jumping and riding a gaited horse, their coordination is nothing, and they're not nearly as enjoyable to ride as a horse that isn't gaited. So that's just an example. So if you're wanting to run barrels, You probably don't want to go get yourself, and do well in barrels, you probably don't want to get yourself a draft. You're probably looking for a quarter horse, thoroughbred, maybe Arabian, you know, something like that. And if you want to jump, a lot of horses can do really well with jumping. You know, just find something that will fit that discipline that you want to do. If you want to trail ride, then really any horse is going to fit. Maybe a gaited horse is fit for you. I don't know, but, you know, just be aware. Just be aware of the discipline and the athletic ability of the horse that you're getting. Now you got to think of what is your skill level. Now, this is your time to actually step back, and you need to actually be honest with yourself and be like, okay, what can I handle? What can I comfortably handle? That's not going to wreck my confidence. And what do I know? And this might be something where you go to somebody else if you have a trainer. I never had a trainer, but just go to somebody else and be like, hey, what do you think would be good for me if they have seen you ride and stuff? Because you might think that you're better than you actually are. Or maybe you are actually good and can handle stuff. That's awesome. Then you know that. But just seriously, don't get yourself in a situation where you all of a sudden own this horse that is wrecking your confidence and causing you to not want to go out and ride horses. Or this horse that because you just got a horse that was too much for you. This horse that's kind of more holding you back because you don't have the knowledge to teach it. Do you need a horse that actually has been there, done that, and can teach you rather than you kind of training the horse? Like, this is really stuff to think about. And like, are you more of a beginner, intermediate? Are you a confident rider? And that's a big thing. Are you advanced? Are you, good chance if you're advanced, then you know that. Maybe I'm wrong, but you kind of have a good idea what your riding ability is. But I think of like when I was younger, I thought I was just like, I could stay on a horse, I could ride a horse, but did I ride well? I didn't ride properly. I could just ride the horse. And so it was like, I thought I was better than I actually was. So that's why I'm saying this, is because here I thought, man, I could totally get on this awesome show horse that's been there, done that, and know all the cues. Yeah, I could totally do that. And when I look back on it, I'm like, are you kidding, Shalyn? You knew nothing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, actually be honest with yourself and your riding ability, because that way you don't screw up this only chance that you have to get yourself an awesome horse. You can do it right the first time. Also, obviously, you need to think of your budget. What can you afford? Keep in mind, horses are expensive. They're kind of like having a car. You have to upkeep them even after you buy them. So what can you afford? Because you can find some well-trained horses that are cheap, but they're going to be a lot harder to find, because usually if you want a well-trained horse, you're going to be paying thousands for it. But it is possible to find a horse that somebody's like just trying to get rid of that is well-trained, but you're going to have to be really patient and work hard for that. So you just have to really figure out your budget. Now, when you're actually going out to check out the horse, you need to actually think and look at the health of this horse, because that can really depend on how much you're spending in the long run, if you get what I'm saying. Does this horse have terrible feet that you're going to have to pay twice as much to keep their feet up? If you have the money for that, then maybe that's not a problem of yours. But does this horse have like these solid feet that you just need to keep them trimmed or shoes on or whatever you want, and this horse is good? Like, that's something to keep in mind. And then like that comes to vet care as well. Like, this is where it's good to know the history of this horse. That's one thing to think about, like teeth. Getting a horse, it's just part of having a horse. You get their teeth done, right? But is this horse a horse that needs their teeth done every 6 months instead of every year? Or I have one horse who's 22 and has never needed her teeth done. Like, are they really prone to getting ulcers and whatever? Like, what kind of vet history does this horse have? I owned a horse I had her for almost 8 years and never had to bring her to the vet for any problems at all, ever. And so and her feet too were awesome. And so it was just like, she was a very cheap horse. So I'm not saying that you're not going to be spending money and you're not going to be upkeeping these horses, but some horses are going to are gonna require more than others, and that's definitely something to keep in mind, because you could be paying 3 times, twice as much, I don't know, more than you need to for this horse. And so that's when I say think about your budget. Like, what can you actually afford? Can you afford a horse? If you can afford a horse that has those problems and you're fine with that and you can afford that, then, you know, that's fine. Obviously, like, do what you want, I don't care. But it's like, if you're kind of on a budget, then keep these things in mind. And now, this is my last actual tip when looking for a horse. Look at a buttload of horses, 20 horses, just so you can get an idea what's out there, because you might think that you're getting this awesome deal on one horse and you might think this is the horse, but then you just keep finding out these horses and you're actually able to, it's like, you know, dating. You need to go on a lot of dates to kind of figure out the guy that you like and see things that you don't like and don't like, and yep, I'm repeating myself, but that's kind of what you want to do. That's, yeah, look at a ton of horses. 20 horses. Check out 20 horses. And don't get one unless you actually, like, don't get it because you feel like you just need to get a horse. Like, actually get a horse that you want is gonna fit everything. Anyway, that is everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And also, feel free to comment down below. Any video ideas, anything, just comment them down below. If you guys are new to my channel, or if you guys want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe as well. That way you're able to keep up with my videos, and I do videos weekly of horse stuff. Just all sorts of horse stuff. I do English, Western, you know. So, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.